We like these. But you know what? First of all, welcome, Mr. Jennings.
Thank you, thank you.
What colour would you like? As in microphone, because you can take your pick. Which one
I'm a
would you
red.
like?
I'm a red. Yeah.
We like red.
Yeah, I like red. Let me take the red.
Beautiful
Right,
smile. This man has got huge, strong hands. I've just had a lovely left hand shake,
Yeah.
and he nearly broke all the bones in my hand. But welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Here for Derek Chisora,
Yes.
Team Chisora. Talk to us about Derek and his 49th, going into his 49th fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, 49th. Wow, yeah. 49th at 41 years old. Yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a ride. It's been a great experience. Every time Derek gets out there, every time, through training camps and everything. And yeah, 49 is a great accomplishment. To have your health. He walks around pretty great, level-headed and shit. Well, not level-headed, but
I was about to say, would you use
yeah,
that word to describe Derek?
meaning just like
Possibly
conscious
not.
for us, like having his faculties and things
Yes.
in order. So yeah.
Your experience as a fighter, because I'll stood here and sometimes I have these like memory lapses and I'm like, I know who he is, I've watched him fight, but your name was just kept on slipping my memory. And this is the thing with boxing, it's like 1 minute you're highlighted and the next minute it's like people forget.
Yeah, you're gone. Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing that I've experienced. Most people, they do the same thing. They say,
I know him. I know him.
And then they will more so know my affiliations versus knowing exactly who I am. So they know who I am, but when they call me out, it's like either whatever it is, you Fort Klitschko or a Chisora fight or something. I know you from Philly, and I just be like, yeah, that's me. And they're like, Jenny, yeah, and then, so it always has to be like that. And I mean, it's okay, it's cool. I get that all around the world, so that's still an honor. Yeah.
But I did remember you as a fighter. It's just that sometimes I'm slippery with names.
Cool. I don't care. I don't care to really be
What a star.
Yeah.
Center of attention.
Yeah, I don't really.
Is that
care
not
for
your thing?
Nah, not really. Because the center of attention, it's like a rotating thing, and
True.
1 minute you're in it, and the next minute somebody else is in the center. So how would you feel when you're on the out looking at the center now? And I don't care about being in the center, so because I know at one point in time you're gonna be out.
Did you ever? Because it's a good topic in itself because boxers are used to being center of attention. They're center of the ring. It's classed as the lonely sport.
Yes.
And then, like you said, 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're not.
Right.
So how do you deal with that, like that transition, or have you always been like that? Have you always had this like modest kind of attitude towards it?
Yes, I've always been that way.
Okay.
More so because it's like you don't want to lose focus and you don't want to get into, the realm of that egotistical, aspect. And because disappointment and rejection, that shit can hurt. If your ass ain't prepared for it,
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I hear you.
It could hurt. And so you just have to have a, I don't care attitude in a sense, to the point where, you're appreciative for what you gain and, you can feel a certain way for what you lose, but, understand that there's winning and there's losing, there's gaining and there's losing, so it has to create a balance. But all in all, don't ever lose who you are.
Don't ever lose who you are.
Absolutely.
Listen, I like to get into the psychology side of the fighting because I get it. And boxing is a sport where 1 minute they love you and the next minute they're wiping their feet on you as they're walking out the room.
For sure.
You said you got to keep that balance and keep that focus. How do you do that? Because like you said, losing isn't nice.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be in you. So it has to be part of your plan.
Okay.
It has to be something that, like I say, the plan that you envision for yourself, you envision for your, career, whatever you are in control of, and understanding that there are things that are out of your control that you might not like. There's things that's out of your control that you just can't control, and so when they occur, you have to understand who you are on the inside
Who you are.
and be able to take it. Yeah.
And do you think that's partly the reason, and getting back to Derek, is why he's had such longevity in the boxing game because he's quite indifferent.
Right. He
Whether
don't
he,
give a fuck.
yeah,
Yeah. That's, you have to have an I don't give a fuck attitude, because if you do, then you'll be upset all the time. They're gonna get you. Oh, they are
they're
going
gonna
to get
get
you. And once they understand that, okay, I can get this person right here with this, and once they find out, what your weakness is or whatever it is, they're gonna attack that. They're gonna attack that. But it's hard to attack somebody who don't show weaknesses. Everybody has them, but to expose them is a bad thing.
As a fighter, then, how would you try and figure someone out? How would you try and figure out someone's weaknesses? I know sometimes we see with the press conferences, you'll see them like trying to get into their head or.
Yeah.
But how would you try and do that with your opponent, somebody that you're going up against?
See, you don't. That's what you don't do. So you focus more on your strengths
Okay.
and understand that you have so much confidence within your strengths that this motherfucker ain't better than me at this. He hasn't trained as hard as I. He can't run, whatever your numbers is per mile or per kilometer or whatever. He hasn't done that, and he's not built like me. Because what's going to happen if you don't find a weakness? Now you're looking like, fuck, damn, he's perfect. I don't look for that.
Just like when somebody doesn't respect your power
Yeah.
and they keep coming forward, you're like, well, what am I going to do now?
Right. That's when you're relying only on power. Yeah. So you have to have a variety of skills, a variety of techniques that you can, that you have in your arsenal. Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Fucking, I'm gonna die. I mean, that's just how it has to be.
No, I like that attitude, but that attitude has got you in with Derek. Talk to us how that even started, because I've seen you at a few press conferences with him. You're there, part of his
Right.
team. How did that start?
Yeah. Well, it started quite some time ago.
It sounds like a romance. It was a few years ago when.
Right, a few years ago, a friend of mine. Look, yeah. It
Don't make me laugh. I laugh loud. I'll get into trouble again.
Yeah, it's been quite some time, but I just think that our chemistry, my work ethic, my overseeing eye at some point,
Overseeing eye.
my ability to allow a person to be who they are, take instructions, give instructions. It's all about giving and taking. You have to be able to do both. And that's a no diddy pause or whatever, but you have to be able to do both, because when you are a man that is in the presence of another man, it's his show, right? And so I'm here for him, and so technically
Ego out the window.
ego out the window. So technically, whatever he wants, I have to give it.
Service that. Yeah.
But also, if it's something where as though it's like this ain't the right thing, then my part comes in and say, no, this is what we should do, and still allow him to be the overseer, because this is his situation, but also just being an addition and being an extra brain and being an extra thought, being an extra body to be able to provide assistance in a way where it's like, damn, you know what? I need you.
But there's so many yes men that will.
Yeah, we don't deal with yes men.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Even though you got to be a yes man in a sense.
Okay.
But
where's the
just gotta know when to say no.
Because we see a lot of them, and sometimes I'm wondering what are they doing there, and they're just yes, and then the fighter gets deluded. You know how it is. You're experienced in this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, you have to. It's not the thing of saying yes or being the yes, but you have to take every decision that comes from the top, which is basically the person whom, say for instance, Derek will be at the top. This is his camp, his situation,
he's the fighter.
his fight.
Yep.
He's the fighter, all of that. So his decision will be at the top. Taking consideration of all of the decisions that's being made. So initially you would say, okay, we go with that, until it doesn't sound feasible, or until it doesn't, sound like a thing to do. And that's when you will implement the, okay, no, so we're not going to do it. And the fact that you ever implemented that no, but every other time you say yes, it's like, okay, so you're not a yes man for sure. Because this motherfucker can say no.
Yeah.
He just says yes whenever it makes
Works.
whenever it works. And if it doesn't work, he'll let me know that that's a no, and he'll stand firm on the no. So you have to have that. I think that's just the balance, and that creates, because us as men, we do a lot of things where, we could become stubborn in a sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Men? Stubborn?
We could become stubborn.
That's alien to me.
But for me, I'm stubborn and I'm hard headed, right? I've always been. But I only respect methods, strategy,
Okay.
intelligence, great technique and stuff like that. I don't respect, oh, you need to be doing this. I need to see it from you.
Evidence.
And you need to make it make sense to me in order for me to listen to you. So a lot of people that always would call me stubborn and hard-headed were the people that never really proved that shit to themselves. Like, it's like, bro, you want me to listen to you? What the fuck have you done? Where have you been, and what are you showing me? Because initially, if you tell me to do something, I have sarcasm and humor. I will also be like, all right, well, what do you suggest? And if you ask them that question, and they always, this is what I would do. Oh, okay. And what if that doesn't work?
Where's your plan B?
And it's like, well, yeah. And then it's because it's always a person that talks out of their ass is always like a dead end. But a person that comes up with a great strategy, says, oh, okay. And then we'll go back and forth, and I can actually make sense of
What they're saying.
Right, what they're saying, and they can make sense of where I'm coming from, and we can come to an agreement. That's me.
Oh, look, it's the main man himself.
What's up, bro?
So how do you see this fight going? I've been there when obviously they've sparred each other up, obviously sparring, fighting. How do you see the fight going, honestly? Because Derek has quite openly said, I know you're going to run.
Yeah. I think that Derek has a tendency to be able to get to people in a way where, they can become uncomfortable.
Yeah. I agree.
And he seems uncomfortable to the point where he might not be able to execute his plan as much as he wants to because of his discomfort based off of the room that Derek's presence is just, overtaken. And that's how it is as fighters, and that's the reason why you focus on you and you don't focus. But he's trying. Otto is trying to focus on himself, and it appears that he's focusing on himself. But we still see he's doing that too much. Not too much in a sense, but he's doing it a lot to the point where it's like, oh, he's trying to conduct himself.
Right.
He's trying to.
So
he's
it's
trying
like
to keep calm.
Yep.
It's like
that poker face that you mentioned.
The poker face. He's trying to keep calm. Oh, he doesn't want to. He don't want to say the wrong thing, or he don't want to feel the wrong energies. So he's being very careful. And that's what I see, and I just think that Derek is so much of a fighter. It's like, in order to be able to get the best of a Derek on a good night, you have to either be, you have to be a fighter first and foremost. Because you can be more technical than him, you can do all these things, but if you can't fight, if you can't fight, then you won't win. So you actually have to do both. But you have to be more of a fighter than anything, because he don't care. I always tell him in the streets, I won't fight you because you headbutt, you bite. I'm like, no, you know what?
He's a fighter.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good, bro.
Joe Joyce, Vitali, Vladimir.
Yeah, who was the tougher person?
Who was the tougher person?
Well, Vladimir held me all night.
He made it messy.
Yeah.
Spoiled your work.
Yeah, he held me all night, and Vladimir actually did hit me with some, towards the end. He did land certain things, but by that time he couldn't hurt me at all. But as far as Joe Joyce, he never touched me. He never. Okay. He hit the glove, and he might have caught a couple of like small shots, but it never was like a boom. Never. He never touched me. But toughness, as far as this dude, just even me watching it, I understand that I could be the power puncher. For sure, for sure. If I sit down on my shots, but a lot of times I'm always in defense, so I'm always trying to back out. So
boxer.
technically, the boxer. So technically, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna hit you and then leave.
Move.
But if I stand there and hit you, then
Trade.
it'd be different. But it just seemed like my punches was literally just like bouncing off of him anyway, and I'm just thinking like, well, damn, like this dude is like, this motherfucker won't sit down, like, you know, it's like
I love
you know,
the accent.
yeah, he won't sit down. But you know, I had some okay accuracy, and I think that one of the things that I messed up on is not moving away after the punch.
Okay.
I'm gonna move away after the punch
To reset.
He wouldn't have touched me at all. I'm talking the whole night. He wouldn't have touched me at all. And you know, all of those arm shots, all of that stuff don't count. That was the reason why I always felt like, damn, like, you know, you really lost that one, bro. Like, you know, a lot of people thought the same thing, but you know, some people was like, yeah, well, you just stood there. I'm like, okay, but if you don't land, you can hit the arms all you want, you know. But you know, I almost thought of, you know, saying, you know, to step in there and say, yo, what's up? Like, you know, for a rematch, you know, for his fight coming up.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought of that. You know, that still could be a thought. You know,
And?
I mean, it still could be a thought. You know, but it's like
Interesting.
But boxing nowadays is kind of like what you gonna get? Like, you know, because it's like,
But what do you want? You say what are you gonna get? But what do you want? What do you want out of it? If you was to come back and fight him, what would you want out of it? Except for money.
Yeah, right.
That, you know,
That's it.
you're prize fighters.
That's it.
Okay.
That is it.
There's a theme going with War Chisora, prize fighting.
Yeah,
the cash.
Yeah, no, you get the money because a lot of other things is out of your control.
True.
So you get the money.
Results.
Yeah, the results are out of your control.
Yeah.
Even, you know, unless you know, score a knockout. You know, but
until you get there,
yeah,
you don't know what's going to happen.
Right, you're not. And those things are always subjective because it could be your fault.
Yeah.
You know, it could be your fault as a fighter. You know, it could be
off night.
Yeah, they're off night or whatever it could be. But, you know, at the end of the day, make sure that, you know, you receive the money to be able to, you know, further yourself, your legacy within support of whomever you are responsible for, family, friends, whatever. You know, people got houses and mortgages to pay for, so you know, yeah. So that's what we all fight for, you know, to earn a living.
To earn a living. So, what would you say that boxing has taught you throughout your career? What's one of the biggest lessons? Sorry about the music.
That's okay, because we can talk right over that. That's the theme music, right? That's like the outro right now.
I get it.
So boxing is relative to life, and so here's the man right there.
Hi, big man. Just talking about you. See, this is the unpredictability with Derek Chisora as he just swans off in the background.
Nah.
What have you learned? What has boxing given to you?
So boxing is greatly relative to life. You know, you know, the aspects of what we do as fighters and what we do in life. It's you know, it's very comparable. You know, being able to, you know, get up, you know, train, you know, do your hitting and, you know, taking hits and, you know, maneuvering through life and maneuvering through, you know, through boxing is just, you know, these are like, so say for instance, a great boxer, if you think about how you move through training, that's pretty much how you should move through life. You know, and training, having many training camps over and over and over and over again, you realize if you apply that aspect of focus to life, it's like you can live a pretty good life, because it's always a fight somewhere. Or we're fighting with ourselves, we're fighting with society, we're fighting with our peers, you know, you're fighting with our family. Yeah. And so I think that boxing to me has really helped structure my thoughts, because I think I was always that, but boxing actually was another way for me to be able to exercise that and grow and help that. Yeah.
Listen, it's been a brilliant conversation. Glad I got to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it.
all the best for you and Mr. Crazy.
Yeah, right. Mr.
And
Crazy.
yeah,
indeed.
Mr. Crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll see what happens if you get the call for Joe Joyce. That would be funny.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't sit around and wait for a call. The man is right over here somewhere. Yeah, I think if I wanted, I might say something to it. But you know, I might be a little bit too emotional at this point to be able to like make a
We like
decision.
emotion. We like emotion in boxing.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Yeah,
what
but
keeps the
I
fans
might really
watching.
want to. I might really want to, you know, step out of conduct and maybe just think of, you know. But it's. I think
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Because look at the size of his hands are huge. I won't ask what size your feet are.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.